Welcome back to another Quick Truth. My name is Derek Truesdell, and this week we're continuing our study of Ephesians 6. This week we are covering the shield of faith. So we're continuing through the different pieces of armor, and this week is the shield of faith. We find that in verse 16. So I'll read those verses, but I'll start in 15 just for context, or 14. 14 starts with, "Stand therefore, having fastened on the belt of truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace. In all circumstances take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one." So we see in those verses, we see at that last verse, the shield of faith that extinguishes the flaming darts of the evil one. Now this is talking about the Roman shield, and it wasn't just some small piece of wood. It was actually like a 4-foot long, 2-foot wide, huge door looking shield that would protect against arrows, and they would link up together with different guys with all shields and make a wall. And when the arrows came in, and they would dip them in fire, and when the fiery arrows hit the shields, they would coat them with like metal or leather that would extinguish the fire. And so that's how they would fight against these fire arrows with their shields. But looking at how this relates to faith, there's two different definitions that I've seen for what this is. And so the first is we have the shield of faith when we are trusting the gospel to shield us from Satan's lies. So we're using this shield of faith when we're using our faith in God to protect us against the lies of Satan. A second definition is that we have the shield of faith when we consistently apply our faith in God to our daily lives. So when we have these lies hitting us as we live our daily lives, if our faith in God is filtering those things, we're using that shield in that way to defend against those lies. So that's two definitions, and I'd like to just cover three little things here as we look at this shield of faith. The first thing is that looking at those definitions, when we grow as a Christian, when we're trying to be better Christians, we're going to have opposition. That's just something we can expect. So we have to be ready for that. And there's lies that will come in and try to derail our progress in our Christian walk. There's lies like Satan is the father of lies. And so when he comes, he's going to say these things. And what's the first lie that he said in the Bible? It's like the first thing that he said to Eve. He said, "Has God really said this, that you can't eat any trees of the garden?" So what he did is he took what God did say and he twisted it. And that's what he does for us today. When we believe things, when we learn things about the Bible, we try to live them out, Satan will come by and try to twist those things just enough to where we start to doubt. And then we start to side rail ourselves and we become much less effective. If we believe what God says and have that shield of faith, when those lies come in and he tries to twist the truth, we will be ready to take it. So when we have that shield of faith, when we have our faith in God, it's easier to stand against the lies. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we need to have faith in God and not anything else. Like we shouldn't have our faith in the wrong thing. The shield of faith is only effective if it's, actually faith in God. So if we have faith in, let's say the original audience, if they had faith in just Paul, he's a human, he's going to let them down. So that's not a good enough shield. If we have faith in ourselves, we can just pull ourselves up and just do the best we can, and we will make it on our own. If we have faith in just ourselves, it's like having a popsicle. When these flaming arrows come in, a popsicle stick, you hold that in front of yourself, you're not going to shield against anything. So as soon as these lies come in, they will side rail us. So if we have the shield of faith, which is the faith in God, that's the shield that we really need to defend against these lies. So it's important that we have our faith specifically in God and not ourselves and not in other things. That's the second thing. The third thing is it's important to have other Christians involved with us. So when we hit our difficult times, it's not just on our own that we defend. So like in Rome, back then in ancient warfare, you had just two armies coming at each other and they would just meet in the middle and just start hacking at each other. Well, why Rome succeeded so much is because they came up with this thing called the phalanx. And they had these long shields like we were talking about before, and they'd get in a line and put them right next to each other and have their spears come out this way, out in front, and they would just march. And these guys with their just swords would just run up and they couldn't do anything against this wall of shields. And that's why they won the battles. So as a Christian, we need other Christians to line up beside us. So when we have a hard time, when we are questioning our faith, we can say, "Hey man, can you come next to me and help me out? Can you bring your shield and help protect me as well?" And we have that option when we have other Christians around us. So it's very important to have other Christians in our lives that when we're struggling, we can, lean on them. And when they're struggling, they can lean on us and we can help support each other and help fight against these lies that come in against us. So now we've seen these three things about the shield of faith. And next week, we will cover the next piece of armor. So thanks for watching. God bless, and I'll see you next time.